Today we are going to reflect on the teachings of St. Pio of Pietrelcina, better known as Padre Pio, and how his wisdom guides us in understanding essential topics such as caring for our body and spirituality in everyday life. Padre Pio reminds us that every action, no matter how small it may seem, has a purpose in God's plan. He teaches us that the body is a temple of the Holy Spirit, and as such, we must care for it with respect and devotion. When we talk about something as simple as water, we understand that nothing in creation is insignificant. Water, a basic and essential element for life, reflects purity and baptism, symbolizing rebirth and spiritual cleansing. Just as in spiritual life, where prayer and confession purify our soul, water plays a role of purification in our body. Padre Pio emphasized the value of moderation and discipline in all aspects of life. Drinking water may seem trivial, but the very act of doing it correctly, with moderation and respect for our body, is an act of self-care and gratitude towards God. A body that does not receive proper care is susceptible to illness, exhaustion, and weakness, just as a soul without proper devotion becomes vulnerable to temptations and spiritual sufferings. We must also learn to listen to the signals of our body when it needs water, rest, or nourishment. Just as in prayer and fasting, it is not about the quantity, but the quality, of how we approach the essential with an attitude of respect and humility. Padre Pio said that prayer is the best weapon, that it is the key to the heart of God. Just as water cleanses and renews our body, prayer cleanses and renews our soul. May every glass of water we drink remind us of the sacrifice of Christ, who is our true living water, and may we see every act of physical care as an opportunity to praise God. For this reason, the water we have in the body is lost through urine and breathing. Around 2 liters of water leave our body each day, which is why it is essential to replenish it. The amount of water a person should drink daily depends on their health, the environment they live in, the climate of that place, their weight, and their physical activity. In general terms, a person needs to drink between 2.5 to 3 liters of water a day, which is equivalent to about 10 to 12 glasses. In summer, due to sweating, it is advisable to increase this amount a little, just like for people who engage in physical activity as their body loses more water. And here a question arises. What happens if one drinks more water than necessary? Listen carefully. The answer is that excess of anything can be harmful. Drinking too much water increases the strain on our kidneys and can lower sodium levels in the blood. However, this is uncommon, as most people do not drink as much water as they should. The problem occurs when someone ingests 5 or 6 liters of water in a day. So, how many glasses of water should one drink at once, and what type of water is recommended? There are those who believe they can drink all the water they want at any time, but this is a mistake. The way water is consumed has effects on the body. It is always recommended to drink water while sitting and slowly, keeping it in the mouth and moving it for 4 seconds before swallowing. This allows the saliva, which is alkaline in nature, to mix with the water, helping to calm acidity and improve digestion. Drinking water while standing or quickly prevents the kidneys from filtering it properly. Also, drinking water directly from the bottle instead of a glass allows gases present in the air to enter our body, increasing the risk of joint pain in the future. Therefore, it is advisable to drink water while sitting and slowly in 4 or 5 sips, and to consume only 1 or 1.5 glasses at a time. If too much water is drunk at once, the kidneys will not be able to filter it properly, and the water will leave the body without being utilized. Another important aspect is the temperature of the water. When we drink very cold water, the body needs to warm it up before using it, which consumes energy and delays its use. In addition, cold water hardens food in the stomach, making digestion difficult and increasing constipation problems. Therefore, the water should be at room temperature or warm, which facilitates digestion and improves stomach health. Finally, it is essential to know when to drink water and when not to, as many make mistakes in this regard and, as a result, suffer from illnesses. Drinking sips pre-meal helps dry food go down better and prevents hiccups, but it should be a small amount, enough to moisten the throat. Drinking large amounts before or after eating is incorrect, as it dilutes the food and makes digestion more difficult, slowing it down. The right time to drink water after eating is after 45 minutes to 1 hour. As Father Pio taught us, who reminded us that in simplicity and balance lies the secret to taking care of our body, it is important to care for every act and every element we integrate into our lives. Although water is very beneficial during the day, consuming large amounts of water at night can be harmful during nighttime rest. Our body reduces its activity, which causes the water in our system to be quickly sent to the kidneys to be filtered without having been properly utilized. This can cause additional pressure on the kidneys and force us to get up several times to go to the bathroom, affecting restorative sleep. For this reason, it is advisable to meet water needs during the day, when the body can make better use of it. Noticing that the urine is clear and not yellow indicates that the body no longer requires more water. It is advisable to wait between 15 to 20 minutes after urinating to drink again, allowing the kidneys to rest and avoiding continuous urination. It is also important to avoid water right after consuming fresh fruits or vegetables, such as cucumbers or tomatoes, as this can harden the food and hinder digestion. The same happens with fruits like bananas, watermelon, or grapes, as drinking water immediately afterward can slow down digestion and even cause colds in some people. It is also not recommended to drink water immediately after very hot beverages like tea, coffee, or soup, as it can damage the teeth. Just as we clean a plate before using it, it is essential to clean our stomach every morning by drinking water on an empty stomach, as this helps eliminate the toxins accumulated overnight. It is essential to start the day with 1 or 2 glasses of water, waiting at least 1 hour before consuming other foods. During the day, it is recommended to have an interval of approximately 1 hour between water intakes, so that in total, we can consume between 2 to 3 liters without overloading our body. Instead of consuming large amounts, it is better to drink small amounts every hour. During physical activity, water consumption should also be moderate and spaced out. 1/4 of a glass is enough to stay hydrated without affecting performance. Just as the great Padre Pio taught us, who emphasized the importance of balance in all aspects of life in his teachings, it is essential to practice moderation and listen to the needs of our body. When we follow a balanced method, even in water consumption, we achieve visible benefits for our health and well-being, keeping the digestive system in good condition and achieving the necessary balance for a healthy body. Therefore, if you want to stay young and free from diseases, make sure to understand these tips well and share them with your loved ones. Let's begin. A long time ago, a wise man deeply knowledgeable about natural health was heading home. On his way, he passed through a small village where he decided to rest in the shade of a tree. The news of his arrival spread quickly, and in no time a crowd gathered around him, bowing in respect and expressing their admiration. The inhabitants, having heard about his wisdom, begged him to share his knowledge. The wise man, smiling patiently, asked, "What is the problem that concerns you all?" An older man stepped forward and said, "Father, I am only 40 years old, but I feel weak and without energy. I can hardly do any work, and my body suffers from many ailments. I have sought treatment in various places, but I have not seen any improvement." Then a 25-year-old young man intervened, confessing with sorrow that, despite his youth, he felt his body had weakened like that of someone much older. He asked the wise man for a simple solution that wouldn't cost him too much and would restore his energy and vitality. The wise, listening attentively, do, not fear them. I have a simple and effective solution. You don't need to spend a lot of money, and it won't cause you any harm. Today, I will talk to you about 4 fruits that you should incorporate into your diet, especially those of you who have reached maturity. With these fruits, you will maintain your health and youth. The crowd listened with enthusiasm, while the wise man said, the 4 fruits I recommend are papaya, raisins, lemon, and apple. Perhaps you may wonder, why these fruits? Let me explain their benefits and who should consume them. The wise man continued explaining how these foods, being full of vitamins, minerals, and fiber, offer great benefits. First, he talked about papaya, which contains enzymes like papayan, which strengthens the digestive system, allowing the body to better absorb nutrients. This fruit is especially recommended for those who suffer from digestive problems, as it facilitates the breakdown and absorption of food. Papaya is rich in vitamins A, B, C, and D, as well as containing potassium, antioxidants, and carotene, which makes it a great ally for strengthening the immune system and preventing premature aging. As we grow older, the immune system gradually tends to weaken, but vitamin C, present in papaya, boosts our defenses, protecting us from infections and various other allergies. Likewise, the combination of vitamins A and C combats skin problems, reducing dryness and the appearance of wrinkles, which helps maintain a youthful appearance. The antioxidant lycopene, also present in papaya, helps reduce the risk of serious diseases such as cancer and is very beneficial for those undergoing treatment. As Padre Pio taught, true health comes from maintaining a balance in our body and spirit. The wise one continued, by following these simple tips, you can improve your quality of life, maintain your health and beauty, and live according to the purpose that God has given us. The wise one, wanting to convey practical and accessible teachings for everyone, shared his knowledge about some fruits that benefit health, especially after the age of 50. Let's start with the apple. This fruit has been considered a remedy from God for various diseases. Eating an apple a day is a practice that helps avoid visits to the doctor. Rich in fiber, vitamins, and essential nutrients, the apple is fundamental for heart care, as the soluble fiber it contains helps regulate cholesterol, a key factor in preventing heart disease. As the years go by, the risk of heart problems increases, but consuming an apple daily can help keep the heart strong and healthy. In addition, the apple is excellent for regulating weight. With age, metabolism tends to slow down, making weight control more difficult. The apple, low in calories and high in fiber, provides satiety without adding excessive calories, helping to maintain balanced weight. The fiber in the apple also stabilizes blood sugar levels, making it an excellent food for those with diabetes. Likewise, the vitamin C present in this fruit fights free radicals and improves skin health, making it look young and radiant. Now let's move on to the importance of raisins. Raisins, rich in iron and antioxidants, are especially beneficial for bone health, which is crucial as we age. Over time, our bones tend to weaken, increasing the risk of osteoporosis. Raisins contain boron and calcium, essential elements for bone strength. Consuming a handful of raisins a day helps maintain bone structure and prevent fractures. They are also excellent for the digestive system, relieving constipation due to their fiber content, which is especially important for older adults who often suffer from digestive issues. Raisins also offer heart benefits. They help reduce bad cholesterol and increase good cholesterol, which significantly decreases risk of artery blockages and heart conditions. The antioxidants in raisins protect the body from serious diseases like cancer by neutralizing free radicals, and their potassium content helps control blood pressure. However, it is advisable for people with diabetes to consult a doctor before consuming them in excess. as raisins contain natural sugars. Finally, lemon, with its high content of vitamin C and flavonoids, is another indispensable ally in the diet. Vitamin C is essential for strengthening the immune system, which tends to weaken over the years. This makes lemon especially beneficial for preventing infections and boosting the body's defenses. In addition, its ability to keep the body hydrated and prevent the formation of kidney stones makes it an invaluable food for health. And the wise one, inspired by the simplicity of Padre Pio's teachings, reminded everyone that God has provided us with natural foods that, if consumed regularly and in moderation, can transform our health and help us live according to divine purpose. As we age, the risk of developing kidney stones increases, which is why lemon becomes a key food in our daily diet, such as lemon. By regularly incorporating lemon juice, we not only stay well hydrated, but also prevent the formation of kidney stones. Thanks to its antioxidants, lemon protects our cells from damage caused by free radicals and age-related stress, which helps preserve cellular health and delays visible signs of aging, eliminating deficiencies that often appear with the passage of years. This way, we avoid premature wear and tear on our body. Daily consumption of lemon water also benefits the skin, reduces the appearance of wrinkles, and helps maintain a younger and healthier appearance, even in maturity. Therefore, it is advisable to include these 4 fruits in our daily diet, not in excess, but in the right amount that each body needs. By doing so, we can begin to experience profound changes in our health and appearance. Following the values of humility and gratitude as taught by Father Pio, the people thanked the wise man for his valuable teaching and, after honoring him, returned to their homes. The wise man, satisfied with having conveyed his message, departed for his place of retreat accompanied by his disciples. This knowledge is a gift that should be shared, so I encourage you to bring this wisdom to your loved ones, friends, and family, so they can also benefit. As he was walking back, one of his disciples, who had been deeply reflecting on the teachings of the day, approached the wise man and asked, "Master, why is it so important to remember and apply these teachings in our daily lives? How do these pieces of advice relate to our faith in God and the care of our body?" The wise man, calmly looking at the disciple, replied, "My son, God has given us this body as a sacred temple. Just as we honor the temple of our Lord, we must also honor the body that He has entrusted to us, creation. God provides us with everything necessary to nourish and care for this temple. Fruits, water, the elements of nature, everything has been designed with a divine purpose, to help us live in harmony with His will. Our duty is to make use of these gifts with gratitude and moderation, seeking to stay healthy to fulfill the purposes that God has for us." And the disciple nodded, understanding more deeply the connection between physical and spiritual well-being. "Master," he continued, "how can we share these teachings in a way that inspires others to take care of themselves, as you have explained?" The wise man smiled and replied, "The best way to teach is by example. If you live in harmony with these teachings, others will see in you the peace and strength that God has given you. You do not need to preach loudly. True preaching is found in the testimony of a life dedicated to God, life in which we care for the body and the soul. Just as Padre Pio taught us, who always sought humility and personal sacrifice in every act, we too must practice humility and respect towards ourselves and others." The group continued on their way in silence, each one reflecting on the wisdom of the wise man. As they passed by a river, the wise man stopped and asked his disciples to take a moment to contemplate the crystal-clear water flowing. "The water," he said, "is an essential gift from God. In the sacred scriptures, water represents purity and spiritual renewal. Just as we need water to stay alive, We also need faith and the grace of God to nourish our soul. When drinking water, we must remember that we are purifying our body, but we must also purify our heart and mind, always seeking inner peace and communion with God. One of the disciples, excited by these words, commented, "Master, each of your teachings reminds me of the lives of the saints, who in their humility and devotion dedicated their whole being to God. Through simple and loving actions they illuminated the path for others. Is this also our purpose?" The wise man, looking at his disciples with tenderness, replied, "Yes, my son. Holiness is not found in great acts, but in the consistency of small sacrifices, in the loving care of oneself and others, and in respect for God's creation." The lives of the saints, like that of Father Pio, remind us that every moment is an opportunity to draw closer to God. Through simplicity and acts of kindness, we can fulfill the divine purpose. Remember that taking care of the body, mind, and soul is not just a matter of physical health, but also of devotion. The sun was beginning to set when the wise man and his disciples arrived at their destination. Before saying goodbye, the wise man gathered everyone and gave them one last instruction. Each day, upon waking, give thanks to God for the gifts He grants us. Spend a few moments in prayer, asking Him for wisdom to make decisions that honor His creation. By taking care of our body and soul, we fulfill His commandment to love ourselves and others. And let us always remember the words of Padre Pio. Life is a constant battle, but with God, everything is possible. Keep these teachings in your heart and share the love and compassion you have received. And the disciples, deeply moved, said goodbye to the wise man and left for their homes, filled with gratitude and commitment to live a life in harmony with the divine will. Each in their own way, committed to bringing this message of health and spirituality to their communities, with the sincere desire to inspire others to take care of themselves as an act of love towards God. From that day on, in every community that heard the wise man's words, people began to adopt healthy habits, to value the gifts of nature, and to see in every everyday act an opportunity to draw closer to God. Inspired by the example of the wise man and his teachings based on the values of Padre Pio, they lived with gratitude and humility, transforming every aspect of their lives into a silent prayer of faith and dedication.
Type Amen if you feel abundant. Remember to like this video, and give thanks. Watch this important message right now.